Hi and welcome to this video on creating data frames and performing some data frame operations. Hi, I'm Raghvendra, an expert in AI, ML and data engineering. By the end of this video, you will be able to create a data frame from a dictionary, perform some basic operations on a data frame. Let's first import the Pandas library. Next is we are going to create a dictionary comprising of keys student ID, name, marks in Python and marks in stats. Each of these values are not scalar. I'm going to take a list. So each of these lists for student ID, name, marks in Python and marks in statistics are going to be of uniform length. So this dictionary I'm going to name it as student info. I pass this dictionary into a method called as pd.dataframe, which is going to take this dictionary as an input and convert it to a data frame. And I'm going to name it as GB. So let's execute this. So here is our data frame which has been carved out of the dictionary, and this is the representation of our tabular data. Let's check the shape of the data frame. gb.shape is going to give me the number of rows and columns in the data frame. So gb.columns is the property which is going to give you the names of the columns. So gb.columns is the property which is going to give you the names of the columns. I'm going to convert it to a list and print it out. Yep. So here are the column names of the data frame. So let's print a list of the row indexes by checking the property gb.index. So rows are by default indexed 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Here columns are named as student ID, name, marks Python, marks statistics. In the absence of column names as well, so they would be numbered 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Let's check the information, that is gb.info method. So gb.info is going to tell us how many rows are there. There are 4 entries from index 0 to 3. How many columns are there? There are totally 4 columns. The names of each column, and are there any null values? In our case, there are no null or missing values here. There are 4 non-null in each of the columns. The data type, first is a numerical column, that is for student ID. Then for name, it is object indicating it's of string type. Please note, in Pandas, string columns are represented as object types. Marks in Python is integer and marks in statistics is as well integer. So it's going to give me a breakup of the data types. So 3 integer types and 1 object or string types, the total memory consumption by this data frame. So quite a lot of information about the data frame can be obtained using the info method. Let's then describe the data frame, gb.describe, and let's see what we are going to get. We're going to get some kind of summary statistics about the data frame, like the number of values, the mean of the values, the standard deviation, the minimum value, the value at 25th percentile, the median value or at the 50th percentile, the 75th percentile value of the data, and the maximum value. So describe is going to include by default only the numerical columns. As you can see, there are 3 numerical columns, and the summary statistics for all the 3 numerical columns have been included in the output of describe. So this is going to help us get the distribution of data and to understand how the mean and the median are being positioned for each of the numerical columns of our data frame. In practice, it would be impossible to display the entire data frame. So here is just a sample data of just 4 rows and 4 columns. It would be impossible in real time to print all the values of all the rows. We might have some thousands and thousands of rows. So we might need to preview the data by peeping into some few rows of the data frame. So for that, we have the head method as well as the tail method. So head with argument n is equal to 2 is going to give me the first n rows. Here specifically I'm going to get the first 2 rows of the data frame, and tail n is equal to 2, the bottom 2 rows origin to the bottom n rows from the data frame can be obtained. So in a way, with this we will be able to preview the data frame to understand what are the values to each of the columns. Here are the key takeaways in this video. Data frames can be created using a dictionary. Shape property on a data frame displays the number of rows and columns in a data frame. Describe method on a data frame provides a summary statistic on the numerical columns. Info method on a data frame provides a detailed information on the columns of a data frame. Thank you.